conversation with me was so passionate that I never forgot it. And I've always had in the back of my mind, yo, I got to get up with this girl again. I got to talk to her, you know. And now we get to do it here. How have you been during this COVID? Have you been protecting yourself? Have you been staying safe? What's going on?
I've been good, man. I've just been working. You know, I've been building my studio. I got a ranch, so I'm pretty much just working on my compound, just having everything in-house, from videos to merch to music studios, and just getting ready for whenever tour comes back. But until then, I mean, I've been doing good. Thank God. I'm one of the few artists that's like really thriving during this time, you know?
Man, you know what? It gives a lot of the fans to really focus, because if they're doing the right thing, they got no choice but to pick up a book or pick up new music or pick up this. And then a time like this gets them to sit down and focus on who's really talented and who should they really support.
Yeah.
Your parents come from Mexico?
Yeah.
What
Both
part
my
of
parents are
Mexico?
Mexican. Yeah, they actually both live in Mexico now.
What part?
Zacatecas and Michoacán.
Damn, man, you got me fucked up with the Zacatecas. I think it's good. Where's it near?
That's funny.
Yo, where's it near?
Like the middle a little bit. Like Michoacán is like southern middle part, and then like Zacatecas is more northern
Michoacán.
part.
I think that's where Fati's from. I think she's from there. So I've been all over Mexico. Chihuahua, Jimenez, Juarez,
Oh shoot.
the whole shit, right? And one time we drove a tour bus through the whole Mexico from Texas. And we went to Cancun. At that time, I was scared to fly. And I got stuck up like 7 times on the bus. It was like every couple of hours. But guess what? It was the police every time.
Yeah.
They pulled us over. They said, what are you doing here? We going to Cancun. They like, yo, $100 US if you want to keep going. And and thank God we made it through, because now I realize we were in like a fucking spaceship going through the whole fucking Mexico, brand new. Like we were dying to get robbed. Like we were like,
oh my God.
Please rob us.
Yeah. In Mexico,
You know?
they call that a mordida, right? That's what they call it? Yeah. So like they want a little bite or whatever. If you eating, they're going to need a little bite to make sure you're good.
No, they made sure we was good, but they wanted a little bite. Like I was like, yo, you know, I never got robbed in my life, so. Oh, Jesus Christ. They kept, I had to pray. I pulled out my Bible, started praying. I was like, yo, if one more motherfucking Mexican cop sticks me up, bro, I couldn't believe it. Right? And so you were born in Mexico, or you was raised in San Jose?
I was born in San Jose. I was raised all over Cali, and then now I live in LA, but I lived in Texas for a while. So a lot of people in the industry actually think I'm from Texas. But yeah, I've just been all over the place, pretty much.
And what led you into rap music? What led you into being a rapper?
I always sang mariachi, like I always sang in Spanish. My dad sang mariachi, so like I was always the kid that like my dad made sing at the parties. And then I got tired of that, and I really would tell my dad, like, please, it's embarrassing. Like at this point, like, you know, all the kids are making fun of me. Like I really don't want to do this. So I just like forgot about that part of my life. I was like, I'm not gonna do music. I'm gonna be, you know, a social worker or do something else. And then randomly in high school, everybody started freestyling, and I was like, I think I could do that. You know what's crazy? I got given a Big Pun album. My friend, I couldn't afford to buy CDs, but my friend gave me Big Pun, Outkast, Lil Kim, Biggie, and Tupac, and then eventually gave me an Eminem CD. And like that's literally all I listened to. Like that's all. So that made me be like, this shit is lit. Like I wanna do this. And I would start freestyling. Then I went into battling. Then I bought my Pro Tools, made music, and then that's it. I just kept going. I always tell people like the only reason I'm a rapper is because I just didn't quit. But it's not like that was my plan, you know. I just got with something and stuck to it, you know. But that was it.
Me as well. You know, it's a similar story to me. I remember when hip hop started. I'm from the Bronx, and we was little kids, maybe 5, 6 years old. And I remember we was at a house party It was in Castle Hill Projects. It was my cousin's birthday, and we brought out the cardboard, and we kept playing this Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 record, and started breakdancing and electric boogieing, and our parents was looking at us like we were smoking crack at the time. And because before that was Southside R&B. They never seen nobody breakdancing, and it was the new shit. And so they wanted you to do mariachi, but you was like, yo, this is where it's at. And and so before you, I don't think there has been a successful Latina rapper in the industry. And if there has been, educate me on that, because I don't know that yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of Latinas, I think as far as being a Mexican woman and like kind of building a fan base like me, I'm not totally sure, you know what I mean? There has been like Chicano rap, and like you had been talking about that the last time we met. And there is like Chicano rap, and there is more emerging artists right now that are Mexican American. But yeah, I've definitely been doing it for a really long time, and just like touring like 100%, building every single fan from like the ground up. And that's like the long route. That's like the old school route. But like I'm seeing that I'm very glad that that's how it happened. I'm glad I didn't just get a hit and take off, like, because that longevity is really what ends up making your life.
You go out there and you talk. I was talking. I don't. I bring him up often, but I'm with him every day. My brother Khaled last night, and we was talking about him on the Beyonce tour. He was like, yo, bro, I touched every part of this country. He was like, yo, I ate a steak in every place, every town we never heard of. But that's how you build the core audience. So when you was growing up, did you ever get into like Kid Frost or Cypress Hills? Did you know about them, or they were way before your time?
I listened to Cypress Hill. It's funny, my brother's younger than me, but he like loved Cypress Hill. So it was cool when I first got in with Be Real in the studio and Burner and all of them, and it was dope to like be like, yo, I'm in here, But no, I didn't listen to too much of the Chicano rap, because when you're born in the northern Cali and then there's like southern Cali music, it was just something that people just didn't. You might fuck around and listen to the wrong thing or in the wrong place, and all of a sudden someone runs up on you. So I just kind of stuck to what the 5 CDs I had been given, and I really was like, I was a hip-hop fan. Like, I liked Big Pun for the lyricism. I liked what they were saying, like I liked the swag Biggie had. I liked Andre 3000. Like, so once you listen to that type of music, it was kind of, I didn't really listen too much to that, like more Chicano, like Cholo music. And it's nothing that everybody has their taste. I just really like that like hip hop sound,
Yeah, me and Pun, we looked up to Cypress Hills a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. They were truly like the first Latinos to get big in hip hop, and their sound was so raw. They were from Cali, and we thought they was from New York when they first came out. When they was like, this something you can't understand. How I could just kill a man. We was like, oh shit, like, and so they were somebody that we really, really looked up to. So you doing this? Me and you was talking. I honestly always believe that numbers don't lie, and I honestly believe that the biggest rapper in the world one day will be a Mexican American rapper who speaks to everybody, who raps, just makes music for anybody. A Puerto Rican can love him, a black guy can love him, a Jamaican, a white guy. The Mexican rapper who captures everybody together will be the biggest rapper in the rap game due to the numbers. I've always felt that way. Do you think you're the one, Snow?
Do you want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple, I could unpack that, like, do I think I have the talent? Yes. Do I believe Mexican community is ready for a woman to be the face of it? No. We are a culture that traditionally has wanted women to kind of like be more submissive and, you know what I mean, be more like you know, we kind of are the machista, you know what I mean? Like that's just what it is. So, and especially being LGBT and, you know, all these things that come with it, I'm not sure that I would be the one, but I think I would bring to the table maybe that thought or that movement. It's been cool because lately, you know, there's a couple rappers that are like emerging and stuff. And like when they do interviews, like they'll mention me. They'll be like, the first person I saw, you know, like waving that flag at shows and like doing all this stuff was Snow. And that was, you know, a decade ago. So at the same time, I do think that, you know, you'll always be able to, like, I said it in a song, like you'll always be able to open a you know, a web tab and find the shit I did. Like my legacy will be there. Like I do feel like if I was to die, I do think I would be a legend. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not. So I'm not trying to die. So I'm like, I'll just be here and it's cool. Like y'all figure it out when you want to. But if there's anything that I've learned from being in this game so long is I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Y'all figure it out when you need to, and that's it. Because honestly, there's been a lot of things. You've seen me at a label. I've had different managers. I've had all this shit. Everybody always tried to tell me what I was doing wrong, but then when it worked, they're like, "Oh, you know what? I'm glad we did this." And it's like, "We, motherfucker, you were telling me no the whole
I'm
time."
glad I gave you the idea. Or,
right?
or you on a record label. Yo, let me tell you something. I am so glad we started this show because, you know, everybody was going through the COVID and I was scared myself. You know, in New York, it hit New York first. A lot of people started dying. And so I came on here to pretty much give therapy to everybody and talk to them about what's going on. And we talk about music, politics, whatever. But I am so glad that this show started so authentic and so organic that, and this is no disrespect to nobody, that there won't be a white guy named Rob Wolfenstein to say he started my shit. Like, the
Right?
people see me start my shit, they know I own my shit. And so
Exactly.
I've never understood how us as hip hop, and this is not a racial conversation to nobody, but how us in the hip hop, we pour our life into the music. We put together our own music because I really never had an A&R. I have one A&R in my life that I can give credit to is Rob Reef Tulo. Besides that, I've never had an A&R. And I've been in the game 25 years. I pick my own beats. I get my own shit together. But when I win, being that I'm signed to this label, somebody got to come take the picture with me and look like think about it.
Yeah.
The Weeknd wins the Grammy. Who the fuck is John Wellington that got to stand next to him like he did something? Motherfucker ain't do nothing.
I feel you. I that happened to me recently. Like, you know, we started a podcast, we started live streaming or whatever, and now it's like a real podcast. And then we had some meeting, and they're literally like, "There's this whole agency, right? Like, we want to do what you're doing because it's working amazing, it's going great. But like, can you start a new one, like with us being the face of it, and then just kind of like move everything over?" I'm like, it's already there, it's already working. You want me to do it under you so it looks like you did this shit. But if the shit's working, then just leave it alone, you know? So to me, I've kept everything as independent as possible because I'm like, this is what's going to make sure my kid eats when he grows up. This is what's going to feed my family. I made promises when I started to people I started with, and I said, we're going to take it all the way. So what good is it if we take it this far and then I just hand it off to somebody else and then I got to look at my people like, oh, my bad, you know? Like, nah, we're not doing that. So if there's one thing I could say, 2020 opened my eyes a lot about ownership, about just making sure that I take care of what I said I was going to take care of, and I just put blinders on. So 2021, I'm coming strong. I'm
Same
dropping
thing
a
with
project.
me.
Is it?
I've been independent, right? I was signed like you to Atlantic, and I got off of there, right? So I was in Atlantic selling 2 million records, and one day I put out an album because they made me put out an album when Jay-Z and everybody was coming out. So I took an L. The album went gold, 500,000. And they told me I'm a failure. And it didn't sit well with me because I went home that night, I couldn't sleep. And I was just thinking, I said, you want to know what? Maybe they're right, you know. But if I go independent and sell 500,000 records and I get $7 a record, I'll make $3.5 million. So I went back up there the next day and told them, you're right. I'm a failure. I might as well let me go. I'll be underground, independent. It was like, all right, Joe, no problem. Then I put out Make It Rain and the shit sold 4 million records. So I know they was kicking themselves in the ass.
Yep.
And so let's say all the way up, I've been independent since then, 15 years. So all the way up blows up is number one. So a good friend of mine told me, yo, could you meet with the biggest guy? I'm talking about the biggest guy in the music business. The biggest. Yo, he wants to meet with you. Now, I'm political. I don't burn my bridges. So I show up. So the guy's telling me, yo, we could really blow up this record. Yo, we could this and this and that. I said, listen, I came here out of respect. I know who you are. I got nothing but love and respect for you. But me signing to you right now would be like me winning the championship and giving you the belt. I said, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that. And he was like, yo, I think you're making a mistake. I said, no, I'm okay. Like, I got money. I got whatever I want. I'm good. Like,
yeah.
You know, and so I get exactly what you said. The only thing is you can be open to different ideas to take whatever you're doing to another level. Now, if somebody's coming to you talking about, yo, we can put it on Amazon. We could put it on TV. We could put, now that's something you listen to. And he said, man, I get more eyes on me. That's, you know, I can move like that. But otherwise, you do whatever you do that's natural. Queen of the South, La Reina del Sur. The way I found out about La Reina del Sur, it was Spanish first. It was a novela. And I was locked up. And I used to watch it with all the Spanish dudes. The novela would come on. And I'd be like, oh, shit, this shit is popping. I'll never forget when I came home, I kept watching the novela on the fucking screen. I never watched novelas. But I was like fucking addicted to the Queen of the South. So they do the English version. How did you become a part of the Queen of the South?
Honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, so many blessings that have came through to my life have just been like, somebody was a fan. Like, somebody knows. The cool thing about my career is that even though I'm not super popping or like not on top of the charts or whatever, like, people who find my stuff know, one, I'm underrated. Two, I can rap my ass off. Three, I'm honest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really just out here like working my ass off and just keeping a small team. That's it. So whoever is a fan will like go hard for me. So it was a writer on Queen of the South that was like, yo, like, you know, everybody keeps talking about you. We really, like, you know, I don't know if you can act, but I'm gonna tell you what, like, I'm gonna fight for you because I just think you're so real. And I was like, lit, thank you. So I sent in a video, like an audition, and I just kind of like sent it and just was like, I'm not gonna remember, like, I'm just gonna act like I didn't do that, because if I get that email saying like, oh, you suck, I'm gonna be sad, you know? So I was like, I'm just gonna forget about it. They hit me up and they were like, no, like, not only do we want you to do one episode, we want you to do, you know, 4. And then I was like, what? And then they were like, we want you to do the second season. And I was like, what? So it was dope. And then they asked me to make a song for it. And it was just real cool. It was a good first experience for acting. And I'll tell you what, it was the first time I ever felt like I was famous. Like, I feel like the rap game don't really treat you like you deserve. But when you're acting,
yeah, the movies is forever. The movies
right?
is forever.
They treat
That's
you
a
good.
different. That's a whole different thing. That shit is like, we can watch the movie now. We can, like, it's forever. And the thing about music that I always told everybody, with music, I could go to a restaurant now in Hollywood and be sitting next to the biggest country singer, let's just say Toby Keith, and I don't know who the fuck he is because I don't know country, and he don't know who the fuck I am, right? And so you can have artists in there for music and not know. And then the actor come in here, Matthew McConaughey, and we're like, oh shit, Matt, we all know him. So movies is something that they don't judge by genres and nothing. You know, you watch a good movie, you watch a good movie. And so that shit is forever. Do you know Castillo? Did you met Castillo?
Keita Castillo, no, I didn't, because on Queen of the South, she wasn't on that, and I think technically you weren't allowed to mention either or. So like I was like, but I know Keita Castillo from novelas because I grew up watching novelas, like every fucking novela.
I watched La Reina del Sur.
Yeah, that's no. I grew up watching all novelas though, not that one though. Yeah, I was watching like fucking what Primer Amor and shit, old ass novelas. This shit freeze. Oh.
You know, I always thought novelas was corny. My grandmother, my whole family was rushed for novelas. And I be like, yo, it's corny. It wasn't until I was in jail that the Spanish niggas was like, yo, this is a badass bitch. Got the Castillo, and they was watching it like, oh my God, she's coming on tonight. And
that's based on a real
so I got into that
thing,
one.
right?
I think I saw another.
Who knows?
Huh?
I think it's based on a real, like on a
one
book.
after that. It was like, I think it was the Mujeres del Mafia, some shit. Another one, it was these girls that they would only fuck with the capos, the dons. After that, I gave up my novella, my novella life. I went back to English stuff. But she, you know, it's pretty crazy how they followed her to get the Chapo. You know what I'm saying? That's you know, her story's really crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's a legendary thing. And she's just an actress, but she found her way into that, you know, that lifestyle. Would you do whatever show would you like to do? You know, if you was to act again, whatever show would you like to do?
I don't know. I'm down for whatever. Like, I do feel like, you know, acting deserves its like respect. So I'm not just gonna go in there and be like, cause I'm a rapper, I should get roles. So I do want to like go to acting classes so I could just like be good. You know what I mean? But anything really, I definitely don't want to be typecast. I told people before, like, I ain't trying to be up in like, you know, be the maid and be all the shit that you're expecting from a Mexican girl. Like, I'm trying to make sure that, you know, we out here being lawyers and all kinds of shit. But I do think that it is necessary to have more representation of Mexican people because we do make a big amount of the population. And I think there isn't as much representation. And even on shows that are about Mexican people, they're not casting or bringing in Mexican people. You know what I mean? So it's like, we could tell the accent is different.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is you can't even blame these people, right? Because I go to where they make the movies, the Beverly Hills and all that, and the only Mexicans they know is the taco man. The only Mexicans they know is selling the fruits on the corner. Or the only Mexican they know they think is a Vato Loco with his fucking thing. They don't know that Mexicans are out here driving fucking Cullinan Rolls Royces. They fly guys, they fly Mexican women. They got all type of jobs and fucking businesses and own. And so I tell them when they say, yo, Joe, what we got to do with the Latinos and things, I say, y'all got it fucked up. I said, y'all got it fucked up. Because every time I see a Latino on TV or whatever, it's some Rico Suave shit that don't really reflect the Latinos in the world today.
Yeah.
I mean, and they've been getting it wrong forever.
Yeah. I just went into a few meetings right before COVID hit. I went into a few meetings because I wanna help more on the like producing side and like on the writing side of shows and stuff. Because I was talking to Christella and Angela Johnson and a few different comedians that are Mexican women too. And I'm just like, we gotta link up and figure something out because we can't be mad that there is no representation if we're not getting into these other, you know, sides of things. So that's one thing that I can say about me rapping. Like, it's cool, and I'm making my project, and I'm gonna take it to, you know, a distributor and be like, yo, here's my project, it's done. Let me know the rollout, you know, because I am receptive to figuring out a distribution or an imprint. But I want to get my feet wet in some of the production or some of the writing of shows or some stuff because I do really give a fuck. A lot of people say para la cultura or for the culture, but they don't give a fuck about the culture. They just want to see what they can gain out of the culture. Me right now, I'm trying to push the culture forward as far as like, I'm really trying to make sure people know, like, don't disrespect Mexican people. Like, don't talk shit. Like, don't think that all we're doing is fucking crossing borders and stealing jobs, because that's not what we're fucking doing. And make sure that next time that you see a paletero or elotero or anybody, like any street vendor, give them that fucking respect because they are working hard. Don't treat them like shit, you know? And that's one cool thing too. Like, I've made a few plugs just based off of somebody's kid being a fan of me, and they're like, you know, doing a humble job or whatever, and then their kid ends up being like, you know, they work at this place or that place. I'm like, that's fucking dope. You know, I was nice to one person and then it turns into something else. So I think life is really good right now because the vibes are good. Like, Mexicans is winning. Like, we're here.
That's right. I appreciate that. And I love that about you, that you rep your people to the fullest. And like I said, you know, doors are only gonna open. It's always been like that. It's always been unique, where hip hop opens doors to where, you know, a kid might love you and their parent is the boss of some shit or whatever, and the next thing you know, you're doing business with these people. It's historical. I don't want to say people's names, but people that we think are geniuses, they got certain deals done, got it done because the kids love them and they say, hey, guess what? I own this company. Do you want 5%? And we look at them like, holy shit, how they pulled that off. But it was really because the music, their kids loved the music, and that brought them to the table to talk to them. I appreciate what you do. You're gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger, just like I told you behind the scenes. You know, I got a movie I sold to Warner Brothers. It's called King Kato, and it's based out of a brother that's half Puerto Rican, half Mexican. And Kato was like the biggest guy in the shit. I can't tell you the whole movie, and he actually got killed by Chapo's nephews. So I sold that. So I'm just trying to tell you, we're trying to push Latino movies forward in Hollywood and just not have the corny people do it. Because the shit is, we got a bunch of Latinos out there as imposters.
Yes. Speak on that.
Like they know what's going on, and they sit up in the room and they come out, I got this great idea. And they're like, yo, what's your idea? Rico Suave return. But man, if you don't get the fuck out that room, man.
Right? Man. I be having some meetings too where it's like people are just like sitting in that room, they're listening to this person and they're saying like, listen, we're gonna make all this money, Latinos are popping right now, we're gonna do this. But you're like, and they're representing Latinos, but I was like, the problem is that if you're corny as fuck or you don't know the culture, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get that check. And they're going to expect that return, but you're not going to give them that return because you're corny and nobody fucks with you. And the next thing that happens is they ain't going to give a check to a real motherfucker because they're like, nah, we already tried that Latin thing and that dude never fucking gave us a return. And it's like, stop being corny and taking checks from people who should be getting them because it's just fucking up the culture. And that's what I'm saying by the pa la cultura or for the culture. It's like, if y'all keep giving somebody just because they look like they're a reggaeton artist, if you keep giving that person mad checks, like you might fuck it up for actual shit that's gonna push the culture, actually gonna move the needle, actually gonna make some real shit happen. You might be fucking up. I'd be telling people too, I'm like, do you think Selena would have made it in this type of culture right now? Because y'all are so ready to tear somebody down. Y'all are so ready for tea. Y'all are so ready to talk shit that I don't think Selena would have been who Selena is. Thank God she was making it when she did. Because right now, y'all would have ruined something amazing way before it even took off because y'all are out here with this fake love, straight hate shit.
The way I look at it is everybody who died young or went through something. Let me tell you a story, right? There is a guy, God bless him. His name is Tempo. I don't know if you know him. He's a reggaeton rapper.
Yeah.
Or Latin hip hop.
Yeah.
Tempo is a rap god to Latinos. A rap god. You hear what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of Puerto Rican rappers with that Latino shit. Real hip hop in Spanish. He caught a Fed case. So he got like 60 years in jail or something. He was never coming out. You would walk in a Puerto Rican house, they would have a poster of God, Jesus Christ, and a poster of Tempo. If I'm lying, man, I get hit by fucking lightning right now. And so whenever you talk, be like, well, papi. So even if me and Pun was killing, they be like, papi, ustedes están well, pero tú sabes, Tempo, papi, eso es lo que hay, you know. So they're kicking that shit to me. Yeah. Tempo. You know, it's my man. I respect him. I love him. I did some songs for him while he was in jail, but he had no chance of coming home. He had 60 years in jail, some shit like that. Caught allegedly 500 kids, some crazy shit.
Shit.
Right? No. And every reggaetonero, you listen to their music, oh, tempo. Every record, like, Like we do Tupac and Biggie. This is my
Yeah.
point. Right? So Tempo was damn near a living Tupac and Biggie to the reggaetoneros, to the rappers. That's how they have it. Tempo in the Miracle goes and has an appeal and beats the fucking case. An appeal after he did.
I already know where this is going, and I don't know the story, but go ahead.
No, listen to me. He wins the appeal, and like 10 years later, he did 10 in the feds, never snitched. Oh my God, Tempo's home. The people in Puerto Rico, they pushing cars over, they rioting. Before Tempo could step in Puerto Rico, there was a nigga dissing him in a rap song. Before he stepped foot in Puerto Rico, the rap god that we love, they went at him.
Everybody loves you when you're down. I feel that.
And so my point is, if Tupac came back, if he said, hey guys, I was in Cuba, they'll diss him the first day.
Yup.
And it's foul. That's the way the game is. And it's foul. They ain't got no respect. They be lying. It is what it is. And so when you talk about Selena, it is very possible they might have not been fucking with her like they are now. We all love Selena. We all know she opened doors. She's fucking beautiful, very talented. But
no, she's
unfortunately, this is a horrible game that we living in, a horrible time of where people, the same people that push you up, try to pull you down.
Facts.
And it's like they just waiting for you to fall.
And that's the thing. And wait, let me explain it, because I already see some what the fucks or whatever. Like some people, this might be going over some people's heads. Like we're saying, people are so ready to trash you. Like you could be the most amazing person, but unfortunately, in the time we're living in right now, and with social media, fake accounts, just the toxicity that we're living in right now, motherfuckers are ready to bring you down as fast as possible. It don't matter if you're talented, beautiful, all this stuff. Like people really want to tear people down. It's just everybody. I was actually on, that Clubhouse or whatever. I was in there and we were talking about all these industry things, right? And they were dead ass saying like why certain people have so much power in the game, and like talking about who watches those particular people. And it's like, bro, you didn't know that toxicity sells right now? This tea type shit, this shade room type shit, like all those type of things. That's what people are paying attention to, because people don't want to see some positive shit. They want to fucking talk shit and gossip, and you know what I mean? They want that serotonin from refreshing their shit. So to me, I just feel like I stopped giving a fuck about getting my accolades. I stopped giving a fuck about what type of respect, or if people, every time, every once in a while you get people like, I don't know who you are. Okay, great. I don't know who you are, but here I am, I just bought a $3 million home and I'm doing pretty well. I don't need to be on the top of the charts. I'm doing all right for myself as a Mexican woman by myself. I'm cool. My kid's eating. Other than that, I'm rapping for y'all to just have fun. You know what I mean? But
the way I discovered Snow the Product is from my sister Remy Ma. And Remy don't like nobody. Remy don't think nobody's
Tell me your
nice.
side so I can tell you my side. Go ahead.
She don't give a fuck. She don't like nobody. She don't this. She came to me and said, yo, Joe, this Latina girl. She's spitting, bro. Her name is Snow the Product. And I said, for real? She was like, yo, she is nice. You need to fuck with her. And that's how I got on to you. And I knew, just like my sister know, I ain't with no bullshit. So if I tell her such and such is nice or dope, she knows what's up. The same way she wouldn't co-sign nobody that wasn't real or wasn't dope. And so Remy, you met Remy before.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it was at the BET Awards. And I was like walking in and I seen Remy, and like, she's tall, I'm short as hell. Like, I don't know if people know that, but I'm like short as hell. So she's tall, she's looking beautiful, and just like, and then I'm walking up and I'm like, oh shit, that's Remy. I'm like, fuck, like, I hope she likes me, like, I don't know. But yet I didn't say anything because I didn't think she even knew who I was. So I'm about to walk by and she goes, hey, Snow. And I was like, holy shit. I remember right away I hit my friend up and I was like, yo, Remy just recognized me. She told me I'm dope. That's so tight. So yeah, to me, it was like anxiety of like,
and there's some female rappers that's still waiting for her to say that. They've been around for years. Remy don't fuck with people. So Remy likes your shit. And she was like, yo, Snow is nice. And yo, Joe, I'm telling you, she put me on to you. And I
Thank
was
you.
like,
That means
word? She was like,
I'm
yo,
gonna hit her up.
Mexican girl, she's nice.
Yeah, it was because that cipher on BET, like I was talking about mad shit that nowadays, like people are starting to talk more about. But like I was just like, everybody want to talk about chapos and narcos and capos and all that shit, but like nobody really cares about Mexican community. Like nobody really gives a fuck about the struggles of like being an immigrant or being the kid of an immigrant, first generation Mexican. Like you don't got shit. You don't. At least sometimes when your parents are American, they maybe have friends that got something. Like when you're the first generation American, you don't got nothing. You know what I mean? You're reading your paperwork to your parents. Like you're trying to help them with their legal paperwork. Like I'm 9 years old trying to help my mom sign some paperwork for, school or whatever the fuck, and like translating. And it's a lot, you take on a lot. So I'll be telling people, like, if you're going to give a fuck about, having the, I don't know, cholos in the background of your videos, having the low riders talking about, my bitch go loco and all this shit. Like, can you at least give a fuck a little bit, like help the people that are gonna be supporting this shit? And so I said that shit on the BET cipher, and I remember that everybody reacted, and I was like, that's dope. Like that was a good moment for me because I was like, all right, cool, I'm doing the right thing, and it ain't getting lost, in translation. So
No, it's not. And you got to speak to your truth. And I see my sister Erica Ford. She's a community activist. She's on here. She's like, teach right on. And and she's right. You got to speak to your truth. And for me, being, I get really upset because I'm Puerto Rican and I'm Cuban. So Puerto Ricans, we American. Cubans, until recently, there was a law that the minute a Cuban steps foot in America, they're legal citizens.
yeah.
So my people, my tribe, where I come from, can't relate or don't know what Mexicans go through crossing rivers with kids on their back, eating toothpaste because they don't have no food, doing everything just to get a better way of life. And so when I talk to my community, I tell them, yo, those kids on the border, they Latino. Them kids on the border, they Latino. When I talk to my people, I say, listen, don't think you better than nobody because you got papers or whatever. These are our people too. And so what happens with Latinos is just, is Panamanian, is Nicaragua, is Mexican, is Cuban, is Colombian, is Puerto Rican, is Dominican, is this. So everybody thinks every Spanish person they see is the same. Yeah. But we under one Latino banner, but we all have different cultures and different things that we believe in or the way we eat. But I try to tell everybody when they come in America, Latinos need to stand up for each other. Even if you're better off in life, even if you don't have that problem. But you can't act like you don't see what's going on. You can't act like you don't see that lady's is working countless hours on her knees and raising other
you can't act like
kids,
kids aren't
and she ain't really getting paid. Like shit is fucked up.
Yep.
And that's always been my approach to where we all here together, unified. It's always been my approach. It's always been my approach since day one. I understood. I don't understand. My mother-in-law came from Colombia, but she came from Mexico. So she told me the story that she had to cross the river in an inner tube. She told us that women were getting raped. Am I lying, Mom? Am I talking too much? Huh? She told me she saw women getting raped trying to come over here. So I listen in great detail and respect the struggle of somebody who wants to come over here and work and take care of their family. Now, a lot of these people come here and work, and they don't even take care of themselves. They take care of their family over there.
Facts. That's what, that's one thing that, like, in our culture, like, you gotta take care of your parents. Like, you gotta help them. So, like, when I was around, like, barely getting out of high school and shit, like, people didn't understand that, like, I would be like, bro, but like they'd be complaining about their situation. I'd be like, bro, do you understand that you're lucky? Like, I hand my whole check over to my mom. Like, I work and I hand my whole check over. Like, even till now, like, even being a rapper, I remember one time because I used to sell CDs like out on the street, And I was selling CDs, and I like was getting mad no's. Like everybody that I would walk up to, like, you know, they'd be like, "Oh, you what?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm Mexican," you know. They'd be like, "Oh, I already know what you rap like." Like, no, I don't like that Chicano shit. I'd be like, "Let me rap for you." I'd be like, "I don't rap like that, so let me at least rap for you." I'm like, if I rap for you right now a verse and you like it, buy my CD. If you don't, fuck that shit, you know. Like, I'll get better. So I would do that every fucking, like, I'd be out there selling CDs. People would buy it after they listened to me. I've racked up $600, right? I was like, all right, finally, I racked up $600 of selling CDs on the street. My mom calls me. She's like, I got these bills, blah, 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 all this shit. I didn't even live with her no more. And she's like, oh, there goes all my money. I'm like, all right, it's good. So a lot of times, us Latinos, we do have to, like, support our parents, and, like, we have to put our dreams on pause.
At least you did it. At least you did it the right way. You know, they got girls out here with no disrespect, but they strip and their moms take the money. Like they gotta pay the bills.
Yeah.
You understand?
I mean,
and go through some shit that they gotta pay the bills. Like we've seen that a million times. As far as me, I always say I make decent money, but I always feel like I'm an immigrant because I make my money and I give it to my family. Like I make my money and take care of my mother, my father, my family, my this. I feel because I know that if I don't go to Yugoslavia to do a show or fucking Poland, you know, my aunt ain't gonna eat. You know, my uncle ain't gonna eat. My cousins ain't gonna eat. So it's a similar type of situation. Let me give you a lighter question on the way out. Who's your, and you ain't gotta say Fat Joe, who's your top 5 rappers of all time, dead or alive?
Definitely, and I've kept these pretty much the same forever. R.I.P. Big Pun, and it's not because you here, like dead ass, like Big Pun, Miss Lauryn Hill,
Oof.
Eminem, Andre 3000, out Biggie.
Biggie.
Right?
I don't know if anybody could beat your 5. And it's
I mean,
so
that's a strong 5.
That shit crazy. You got Eminem and Pun on there. And you got Andre 3000. You got Lauryn Hill. To me, no disrespect, because, you know, my sister and me, Rem, we so tight that it's like Joe and Rem fuck the world, anybody who comes against us. But, you know, she knows Lauryn Hill, to me, is the best female MC ever. And better than most male rappers. So you got, and Biggie, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I was going to say, Kim, like, I love Kim, right? Because honestly, if it wasn't for hardcore, like, even though I don't rap about sex, like, I thought that album was like, that's one of the albums that made me, you know? But obviously Biggie, so I'm like Biggie all day. Like, yeah. That's a strong 5.
Biggie was the best. Biggie had the best bars. He had the best flow. As far as being a big man. Well, me, I was in the streets, right? And so when I came in the game, I was more rapping about like hip hop, and I was trying to get away from like what I really was in the streets, because, you know, a lot of my friends was going to jail and shit like that, and I know people was listening, so I was trying to just keep it real hip hop, boom bap. And then when Biggie came out and Jay-Z came out, they was rapping about the shit I was living. And I was like, yo, I got to be the Don Carter G. I got to talk that hustling street shit. And it's people like Biggie that inspire me to be who I am right now. Yo, Snow, stay safe. Nothing but love. Me,
yeah.
we got to collaborate one day. We got to do something together.
Let me know. You got my number now.
Keep believing in yourself. Never give up. Shout out to all my Mexicanos out there. Y'all know what it is. Nothing but love, all right?
Thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, shout out Marjorie. I see you. That's my attorney. Yo, my attorney's going to make some shit happen. Let's make a movie. We gotta make a movie. We gotta produce a movie, because I heard what you said about Kato. Now we gotta kill off somebody else. We gotta make some shit happen.
All right.
You ready?
I'm on it. Peace.
All right, bet.
All right. You don't know who I know. You don't know who I know. And that's Snow the product. And she don't need nobody. She do her own things on her own. She independent in a $3 million ranch. She don't give a fuck about no industry and what they saying about her. She living her life. And so you don't know who I know. I know everybody. So good luck to Snow, and I want to work with Snow. I want to collaborate with her and see if we knock one out the park. I'm being honest with you. And I see it different than her. I see that she can be. She thinks the Mexicans ain't ready for a woman to lead. I disagree. I think women empowerment is very, very strong. I think she could be the first to crack open that door on another level. She's doing it already. Anybody can buy a $3 million crib and hit TV series, all that is doing her fucking thing. But she might want to hit one out the park, and that's what Fat Joe does. I hit him out the park. Home runs. Nothing but hits. That's what I do. And so we got to collaborate and do something big. You heard it. It's the biggest show in the game. Once again, please take COVID-19 serious. It is real out there. Wear your mask, wash your hands, stay away from large crowds, social distance. It is worse than ever. Yo, Fleazy, I love you too. Shout out Junito. I already bigged up Choo Choo. Rest in peace, Elena. I don't know what else I could do or say because Elena was such a beautiful person. And she always took care of me my whole life. When the cops came for me, she would hide me in her house. And I would stay in her house for a week straight. Cops is all over the projects looking for me. I'll be in Elena's house. And so, you know, Elena's such a beautiful person. God bless her. I don't know what to say. I went to my mother and father's house just to spend time with them because I know she was one of her best friends, and I knew she was feeling the way, so I had to go there. That's what it is. And trust God, put God first. Tomorrow night I'll come. I honestly don't know who I got tomorrow. I'm sure to be big. Every day, somebody huge, larger than life. If there is competition somewhere, my foot has been in their ass for 9 months straight, night after night after night after night. You guys are going to miss me. You guys are going to miss me. When I say one day, hey, guess what? IG's over. Corona died down. That's it, guys. You are going to miss me. I'll be like, damn, fuck. Every day, 8 o'clock, we don't know who's coming on this motherfucker. It might be Ludacris. It might be Chris Brown. It might be Remy again. You don't know who the fuck I'm bringing on here. Vanessa Williams, Maya, Kalani, Sweetie, Dr. Fauci. This shit getting out of control. Well, it's been out of control. And one thing, you might think Kanye West is crazy, but one thing Kanye West told me, if you don't big yourself up and you don't talk about your wins, you can't expect these people to do it for you. And so they all liars. Anybody thinks that they even close. Beanie Siegel last week. We did a special Mano and Jim Jones, rappers are in danger. It is terrible. It's terrible what we're doing to anybody who could even think of himself as competition. And so anything is possible. Anything is possible. And so what I'm saying to you is, don't let people, naysayers, people who mad at their lives because they weren't able to do nothing, people who are depressed all the time. You ever got that friend or family member that when you go to see them, you already know they sucking that thing out of you, they sucking the life out of you, they bringing you down, but they draining you. Huh, Terrell? That's called draining, right? And we try to keep it real and come around them, but from the minute you see the stink, you stink. Don't keep that shit away from me, man. Let me go over here to the light. Let me go to the light. And yeah, it's COVID and it's fucked up. And so what? I want a suntan. Because I want what makes me happy. Now I'm going to go to the light. And just like where I live is a lot of people with money, obviously, who live here. But I don't know how they make their money. At least they know I make my shit rapping. And so, as long as the way you pay your bills is righteous, you take care of your family, that's all you really need to worry about. Put God first, believe in God. In my most worst moments, my scariest moments, if I'm able to say something 1 second before I die, and hopefully it's a long time from now, but I would praise God. And that's it. And we in this world and it just goes by fast. So whatever makes you happy, makes your family happy, you need to do that. Because this world goes too fucking fast. You blink, you're 10 years old, you blink again, you're 40. And so you got to do what makes you happy. Not what makes people happy, not what this and that. What makes you happy. As long as it's righteous, you're not robbing nobody, you're not taking nothing from nobody, enjoy yourself. Because look, we're all going to be transitioned. And all we can do is say, yo, when somebody dies, we hope that they moved on with God. That's all you can say when somebody dies. And some people live so righteous in this world, and good people like Elena, that you know they with God. Right? Some people that really live like righteous and did good by people, you know. You say, listen, they with God. You know, it's only the iffy ones. You know, you pray that they make it there. So while we're here, whatever makes you happy, that's what you got to do. As simple as that. We working, never jerking. Steve Lobel is in the building. And Steve Lobel, he would always, man, that's crazy, right? You believe that? I almost did the whole show. Two of my favorite people on the planet Earth is their birthday today. Dre of Cool and Dre. You heard him all over the Family Ties album with me. In fact, it was both our albums. Dre, happy birthday. I love you to death. You inspire me every day. I'm so happy when I talk to you and I talk to your daughter, Molly. And every day I FaceTime you and you make me happy. And my wife looks at me like, yo, get the fuck off the phone already. You're my brother. And I love you to the death. Happy birthday. Rich the barber, who's no longer a barber. He manages Party Fontaine and he's part of Bryson Tiller's management. Rich, I love you to death, my brother. You already know till the wheels fall off. You can't find two better guys. I cannot believe that their birthday is on the same day. You can't find two better guys to make your friends. And so I love you guys. Will Unique, I'm with you, but you better not give up. and you better stay strong. Don't fucking give up. You fighting the COVID, you stay there. You stay there and you fight that motherfucker to the end. And I promise you, you're going to get past it. Don't give up. Love you guys. Peace. The big show. I don't know who we got tomorrow. Show is going to be the biggest in the game, the biggest in the world. Thanks, Snow the product. I've been chasing her forever. Incredible interview today. Love you guys. Peace.